Welcome back to another powerful conversation inside the Entrepreneurs Visibility Summit. In this interview, we are diving into crafting offers that convert and messaging that captivates. Today, I have the amazing honor to spend time with Laura Young, aka the Offer Magician. With over 15 years of experience and a holistic, heart-centered approach, Lori is an offer strategist and a business coach for wellness and personal growth entrepreneurs. And something I love about her is her straight talk. She gives you straight talk on how to turn your passion and expertise into aligned, profitable offers. That is the key word, is the profitable. That's where a lot of people are missing the boat. Her approach is practical, yet deeply human, blending strategy with soul to help her clients stand out and scale with integrity and lead with purpose. When she's not guiding clients through powerful offer breakthroughs, you can find her hosting a popular podcast, On a Mission Momentum. And my favorite thing about Lori is she is like the trusted friend next door. She's warm, she's relatable, and she's refreshingly down to earth. Lori, welcome to the summit.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Hey, I would just want to say it takes one to know one. You are refreshingly down to earth and warm, and like I immediately connected with you when I met you, and I'm honored to be here, and I'm honored to be a part of this summit.
That means so much to me. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, when two entrepreneurs get together and they lead with their hearts, there is
Yes,
just a connection that is just an unbreakable bond at that point, because we're here to
absolutely.
watch each other rise and make an impact in people's lives. So
Yes.
thank you for having the heart that you have. I love that.
Mhm.
And let's jump into it. So just so people, I mean, obviously the Offer Magician is a little bit revealing of what you do, but can you just, in your own words, fill us in on what you do, who you help, kind of how that, what you help support people with?
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's important to have like a little bit of backstory on me. So in 2004, I followed a deep calling at that time to become a certified coach. And for the next 8 years, I ran a life coaching practice for moms. During that time, I learned everything about building a business online and how to build a brand that actually resonates. The name of my business was Momnificent, and
Oh,
I had like moms like all over the world like fall in love with my brand.
yeah.
Yeah, so during that time, and this was back in 2004. This is in literally when online business was just starting.
Mhm.
I experimented with so many different offers. I created so many digital offers, and some of them were big wins, and some of them were just learning moments. They didn't really connect for me. So I took a little brief hiatus after 8 years. And when I came back into my second business now, I really had just one mission, and that was to teach coaches and entrepreneurs everything that I had learned about growing a business. I
Hmm.
have been behind the scenes of many offer launches. And if there's one thing that I've seen is that it's not uncommon at all for coaches and entrepreneurs to struggle with crafting offers that actually convert.
Yes. Yes. So
And
much.
so, yeah, and so that's why I do the work that I do. For me, it's a very deep introspective process. It's really about inner clarity. And if I can help entrepreneurs like really do that deep work to craft offers that feel aligned for them, I'm in my zone.
Oh, I love that. And I love being in the zone where we all,
Yeah.
really focus on where we shine.
Mhm.
Just going off of what you just said, just out of curiosity, can I just ask, not all the details of your process by any means, but when you're talking about going really introspectively and really understanding and diving deep with your clients, can I just ask kind of what that process looks like? Because I could see that feeling very vulnerable where people share a lot. And I know that you're the type of person to help them feel extremely comfortable. So can I just ask generally your process of how you help people go deeper?
Yeah. So, and we'll talk a lot about this like throughout here, but
Okay, yeah.
it really like is about helping them to connect to who they truly are, what their gifts are, what their
Mhm.
passions are, what their experience is that uniquely contributes to
Mm.
offer. And
Yeah.
also knowing their ideal clients on a really, really deep level. If we
Mhm.
don't have that depth with ourselves and with our clients, it's almost impossible to craft an offer that
Mhm.
is aligned and actually sells.
That makes such good sense.
Yeah.
And
So, obviously we go into more strategic,
oh
but the
yeah.
first part of it is
Mhm.
really about getting deep and finding, it's what I call choosing your lane.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. It's clear and clean. And
Yeah.
I just, I see so many coaches out there or different entrepreneurs imitate somebody else who's not them, and it just does not work. And so I just love it that you really, what you said was the unique piece of who they are and bringing
Right.
that forward. So I'm clapping. I love that so much. So do
Good.
you have, if you could choose one lesson to, or a couple to just teach our audience about offers today, what would you choose?
So, I want to go back to alignment. And I think
Mhm.
that this is not just about offers, but this
Mhm.
is about business in general.
Mhm.
The one thing that I have learned is we have to listen to ourselves. We have to slow down
Mhm.
and we have to continually check in to see what feels right for us, right? I mean, when something is out of alignment in our business, in our offers, in our lives, things just don't work.
Mhm.
We're stressful, we're stressed, it leads to burnout. So for me, it's about learning to trust yourself.
Mhm.
It's about before you make any kind of business decision, always asking yourself, like, does this feel good to me? And that requires us to slow down versus having kind of like this quick reaction to make a quick decision.
Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
trusting ourselves. Here's what I see a lot in the online space, and I am just as guilty as the next person. There's a lot of comparison going on,
Mhm.
right? We are looking at this person out on social media and going, oh my gosh, they're so like, look how much money they're making, or oh my God, look how many followers they have. They're doing so well, right? And we tend to want to emulate them or learn from these people that are supposedly doing better than us, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with using other entrepreneurs to inspire us,
Mhm.
to help us learn, to help us get ideas that maybe, we hadn't thought of. But it always has to come back to, does this align with me, though?
Mhm. I
Right?
love that.
Because
Yes.
if it doesn't align with you, it is not going to work. So
Mhm.
we always have to check in because if you think about it, we are the only ones that truly know ourselves, know our values, know our personality, know what kind of people we like to work with and what kind of people we don't like to work with, how we
Mhm.
operate, right? It's different than that person that you might be comparing yourself to. So you
Exactly.
always have to come back and make sure that you stay in alignment with yourself. And for me, like when you are fully aligned, you have unstoppable power.
Oh, gosh. I just cannot even tell you how much I love that. And I'll just tell you from my personal perspective, something I did not too long ago. I used to be very reactionary in business in the sense of somebody would request, "Hey, can you teach me this or can you coach me on this?" And I'd be like, "Oh, sure, now I have a new business offer." And
Right,
it
right.
all of a sudden that would just sprout out of nowhere. And this last December actually is when I did a how break. I just like what are my offers? I have a lot of offers. I have different ones, but I just was not sure like where did my energy pull me to? So all
Mhm.
of December, I didn't go promote anything new. I just sat and listened to myself and checked in with myself. and just was like, what is my how? Instead of doing all the how, it's like, what is it? What direction do I want to go? And the summit was born that way. That's how this one came about. And so this feels so in alignment. It's probably one of the most aligned thing I've ever done in my life. So I just, for everybody listening to Lori, my gosh, that is just a powerhouse thing that you just said. And thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course, of course.
Do you have a mistake or two that you see entrepreneurs making often with either their messaging or their offers? Just a common mistake?
Can I mention a few mistakes?
Oh, mention as many as you want. We have all day, sister.
It's too hard for me to just go with one thing. But what I can say is that I think the struggles that I see with, entrepreneurs, when it comes to offers, it boils down to three things: clarity, specificity, and simplicity. And I want to go deeper in each of those. We've already kind of touched a little bit about clarity. Clarity is a big one. I mean, if you look at anyone who's been in business for a while, we all struggle with clarity from time to time. We get stuck. It's just like, I don't know, like what to do. Like you spent a whole month of December, right? Kind of lacking clarity, like trying to get clear on what's next for you. So we need to be very clear, again, about who we are, right? What lights us up? Like what's important to us? We need to be super clear about our ideal audience. What lights them up? What kind of transformation are they looking for? What are they willing to invest in? Those two pieces of clarity are like very foundational to offers, right?
Right.
You talked about messaging. We need to be clear with our messaging. It can be hard sometimes to articulate our value, to articulate the transformation that we're trying to help our clients achieve, trying to get the right words for it to land with our clients, right?
Yeah.
And that clarity in messaging can only happen when you have clarity with yourself and with your ideal audience, and like how they talk, what are they talking about, what words like resonate with them. That messaging is a big stumbling block. Like you can have like the greatest offer in the world, and if the messaging is not landing, it's not going to convert. And people, and it's unfortunate and it's sad because a lot of entrepreneurs think, what's wrong with me? Like, what's wrong with my offer? Maybe nothing, right? It might be an amazing offer. It might just be the way the messaging is being clarified or not. So clarity is a big one. This was something that I thought was really, really cool that spoke to clarity. I was in a networking call the other day, and the host of the networking call was really good. And she posed a question that had us all kind of going, huh. What she said was, if your friend was having coffee with someone that has the problem that you help them solve, how would that person be describing the problem? And what would your friend say to that person when introducing your work to them? I thought,
that's
okay, wow, that's some real clarity there. Like if you can just like answer that, like, wow, you're way ahead of most, because I can tell you in a room full of entrepreneurs, most people were kind of struggling with like answering that question.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is quite the perspective. I I got goosebumps actually over that one because I was about to write it down, but then I could watch this back instead. But really and truly, that is very powerful. And I know like what people are sitting around talking to their friends about. Like that's really one thing
Mhm.
I heard a while back about messaging is that we really need to understand and meet our audience where they're at, not what we know they need, what they think
Yes,
they need. And I know you've talked about that, and I just have such a high level of respect for that because so many times we're like, here's what you need. Look,
right.
it's all
Yes.
perfectly polished, but
It's like, yeah, I'm helping somebody craft their offer right now. And, he's coming up with some of this, messaging. And it's like, okay, like I get you're like a somatic therapist. You've got all of this experience and knowledge, but you're speaking in language that may not resonate
yeah,
with
that makes
like
sense.
the tech leaders that you're trying to reach, right?
Mhm.
Like, are they thinking that way? Like, and so for me, it's like about like kind of like questioning and having him kind of like shift his perspective. Like,
Yeah.
is that something that your ideal clients is going to be talking about? Is that something that they're going to resonate with? And those are the things that we have to like ask ourselves when it comes to messaging, because
Mm.
yeah, I mean,
What
it's all about the client.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And what a great guide you are. Just we're not born. I mean, you know what? I'm going to do a TV timeout and talk to the audience for a second. We're not born knowing this stuff, just like you're not born with math skills. And like, this is not natural for us to just be able to
Oh,
meet people where they're at and develop this stuff. And so thank you for being such a guide. And if any of you are struggling with your offers, if your offers are not converting, please, if you don't take a step with Lori, I'm going to come to your house. I'm just joking. But you really do need to take a step and really get clarity because you are putting so much time and effort into all this stuff just to have it fall flat or not get the results you want. And working with somebody like you, Lori, I mean, my gosh, you just help guide. I love this is something I love about you is you're very direct with
mhm.
people, but you're also just a gentle guide. And I just love that you meet people where they're at to
Yeah.
help them. So anyways, I love that so much. So,
Okay. So
yep, go
let's
ahead.
talk a little bit about some of the other things.
Yes.
The second thing was that I kind of made reference to was specificity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I see, especially when it comes to messaging, is a lot of vague language. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'll help you live your best life. Now, let's just kind of break that down for just a minute. Like, what exactly does that mean?
Right.
Right?
Yes.
A best life for you and a best life for me and a best life for this person over here are probably radically different.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, living your best life is not something people are like staying up at night going, oh, I wish I could live my best life. I just wish, like talking to your friend, I really wish I could just live my best life.
Right.
No, no, that's not what I get the heart behind it. I get the heart behind like I just want them to live their best life. I just want them to feel amazing about their life. That's fantastic. It is. It's a good heart. But we have to be specific. We
Mm-hmm.
have to find that urgent, specific problem
Mm-hmm.
that people are talking about that they're staying up at night worried about. Those are the problems that we need to solve with
Mm-hmm.
our offers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting very, very specific so that when someone, it's just like when I say, I help wellness and personal development entrepreneurs transform their passion and their expertise into an aligned and profitable offer. People are like, oh, okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
An aligned and profitable offer. I'm a wellness or personal development entrepreneur. So it's immediately very, very clear. So the more clear and specific that you can get about the transformation that you provide, the more your offers will convert.
I love that one. I love that. Thank you. And then the third one.
Yes. And then the third one is simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I find a lot happening in offers is, and this again comes from a good place, is we are over delivering in our offers. We are overpacking the offers. I am working with a holistic business coach right now that has an offer for like emerging entrepreneurs, emerging and new entrepreneurs. And this offer has 18 business modules. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a seasoned entrepreneur. And when I hear 18 business modules for an offer, I'm like, it's too much. I'm overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm immediately like checking out because I know I'm busy as heck. And
Correct.
the likelihood of me getting through 18 business modules is probably pretty slim.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another way I like to describe this issue is not too long ago, I just wanted to make one tiny little health change. All I wanted to do was start adding chia seeds to my yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seems like simple enough, right? Every day, I would open up my yogurt, gobble it down. My spouse would say, "Did you add the chia seeds to your yogurt?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I forgot."
Yeah.
It took me 7 whole days to make that one tiny shift. For
Mm-hmm.
my brain to finally register, go in the closet, get the chia seeds out, put them in your yogurt, then eat your yogurt,
Yeah.
right?
Sticky notes all around. Yep, exactly.
And that's what your clients are feeling, when it comes to transformation, when it comes to
Yeah.
like making changes in their lives, like they can only handle like so much. So it's better for you to create a shorter, simpler offer that
Mm-hmm.
creates immediate transformation than to create a more complex offer that has all this transformation that they are likely to give up on.
That is such good advice. I have felt the same way where I have absolutely not moved forward on offers because they are way too much time. And
Mhm.
and I've done that myself in the past. I've made that exact same mistake. I made a huge online course and then nobody wanted it at first because so I broke it up into little courses and then it started selling like hotcakes. So very fascinating.
Yeah,
I it kind of reminds me of just the whole point of what you do is what people, entrepreneurs do is want to help somebody get a transformation. And what are the fewest steps and the quickest way you can get them from A to Z without all this, more is not better kind of stuff. So
yes,
I love,
yes.
thank you for.
Because honestly, if you think about it, complexity, it creates
Mhm.
friction.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so well said. I'm going to put that on a quote. Maybe I'll get a tattoo on there. Come to show. So moving forward to how people can stand out in the crowd. So many times these entrepreneurs and coaches are just getting lost in the crowd and they just do not know how to shine. How
I
would,
love this. I
yeah,
love this question like so much.
good.
And I will it boils down to one thing, and that is positioning.
Mhm.
Um, and there are 5 ways, and I'll kind of go through these pretty briefly,
Yeah.
but 5 ways that you can position yourself and stand out. Because let's be honest, like there are tons of health coaches, tons of business coaches, and a lot of them have the same kind of offer, right? So how do we stand out?
Hmm.
One is through our stories. First and foremost and most important story is our brand story,
Hmm.
right? Spend some time and actually dive into and craft your brand story. Why do you do what you do? What is your mission? Um, your brand story is something like that's just so important.
Hmm.
Um, but stories in general, like to me, like that's what makes us memorable. Our stories is what like endears people to us, right? So anytime that you can weave stories, personal storytelling into your content to get people have a flavor of like who you are,
Hmm.
that's like magic. Like I just recently had a podcast episode with a story-based email copywriter. And oh my God, she's just full of stories. And she challenged me. I literally said that day, from now on, practically every piece of content that I put out, whether it's email, social media content, whatever, it's going to have a story. I am
Mhm.
to weave me into what I teach because we're full of how-to content. Like
Absolutely.
anybody can give all that how-to content. Your story is the only thing that makes you different.
Mhm.
Secondly is your values. Um, Everybody has different values, and we connect with people based on those values, and we buy based on values.
Mhm.
It may not be conscious. We not be saying, oh, this person values communication. I value communication, so therefore I'm going to buy from them. It's not that conscious, right?
Of
It's
course.
very subconscious. For instance, one of my values is heart.
Yes.
And I communicate that value very openly, like in my content, when I show up with people, like it is very much about heart and serving. I cannot tell you how many people have come to me and say, oh my gosh, I so want to work with you. I love your heart-centered approach to business. So your values set you apart. Whatever those values are, inclusivity, communication, collaboration, like whatever they are. So take some time to articulate what your values are, display those values on your about page and what those values mean to you, and weave them throughout your content.
Mhm. Yes.
Third is your personality. Again, so many different personalities. There's
Yes.
energetic people. There's very calm and grounded people, very intuitive, like very funny. Like I used to say, oh my God, I wish I was funny. Like my spouse is like super funny, makes me laugh all the time. But it's like, that's not who I am. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not a naturally funny person. I'm kind of a serious person.
Mhm.
I'm a Capricorn by nature, and we're very ambitious, very serious. And my spouse, extroverted, she can work a room. And I'm like, oh my God, why can't I be like that? Because I'm an introvert and I'd rather just be a wallflower on
Mhm.
on the side of
Mhm.
the room, right?
Mhm.
So just embrace your personality, let it
Yeah.
shine. It's all good. Um, yeah, it's all good. Don't try to be somebody else, just be you.
Yeah.
Because
I love it.
lots of people will resonate with you,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
lots of people will not. And
And
that's
that's
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fourth is your framework for your offer, your process, your way of delivering your offer. It could be like same transformation, two business coaches, same transformation, but your framework, maybe your little proprietary way of walking people through that transformation is different.
Mhm.
Maybe you deliver your offer retreat style. And so you create like a very experiential way of delivering your transformation. And maybe the other person does group coaching or does one-on-one.
Mhm.
So your framework can also set you apart. And last, and to me, this is the biggest one, and that is your energy.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh my gosh, like energy is so huge. I mean, and I don't think it's talked about enough, but just, think about like if you're in a sales call with someone and you're just like, something's just off, right? You're just like, I don't know what it is. It's just off.
Mhm.
There's just not an energetic alignment. Like
That's right.
energy is off. Or you get like you and me, like the second like I got into a call with you to meet you, I was just like, oh my God, like I vibe with her. Energetically, we were matched.
Mhm.
And this is why I go back to alignment,
Yes.
because when you're not aligned internally, your energy will be off.
Oh, yeah. It
It
shows.
will show.
Mhm.
And people can read it. They may not be able to like pinpoint exactly, but they're just like something just feels off. Or it's on fire, right?
Mhm.
You're just like, oh my
Mhm.
God, like I love that person's energy.
Mhm.
Just stay true to yourself, stay aligned, because you, you, and you are the differentiator.
I love that so much. Everything you're saying is so much about just grounding in who we are and then
Yes.
driving from that place. And I just really respect your view on that. I've worked with a lot of uh, coaches or business coaches out there on offers, and I've seen a lot of how they do things, and
Mhm.
I have never seen of this level of a heart-centered approach. Like I just want to pause and honor you in that because you are helping so many people build businesses that they don't end up liking. They end up resenting them or their audience for not saying yes to their offers. And
Right.
it causes all this friction in them. And what you are doing is starting from the foundation of who we are and then
Yes.
going outward versus what's our skill set, you know what I mean? And trying to make
Yes.
offers based on that. So
Or
thank you.
what does the market need? What's going
Yeah.
to sell?
Where's
Yeah.
that gap in the market? Yes, I have definitely put offers out like that. And I'm like, oh, nobody's doing this. Boom, I'll put it together. And I'm like, nobody's interested, And so it
Yeah.
really is amazing how much momentum has happened in my own businesses, obviously your business, when you do become aligned. It's a powerful thing. So I love
Yeah.
that. Well, speaking of storytelling, since you were
Yeah.
highlighting that so beautifully, do you have a story or so, one or two that, somebody you've worked with or even your own offers that before they really understood what they were doing versus after. Do you have a story that you can share with us?
Yeah, I do. And I'm going to share my own story just
Okay,
because for me,
beautiful.
it's more personal.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to tell. When I started my business 8 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
my idea, I have a very, very big background in business, very broad. And my idea was I am going to be the one-stop shop for all of my clients' needs. I
Mm-hmm.
am going to offer branding and website development and funnel development and coaching and operations and social media management and all of it. Like, I will be more valuable to you
Mm-hmm.
if I can solve all of your problems and be everything for you, right? It worked for a while. There were some people that liked the idea of like, I love working with you. I just want to work with you on everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happened is, one, I got spread very thin
Right.
trying to manage all of those different offers. And two, the marketplace, the business climate changed. It
Mm-hmm.
got way more competitive. AI got thrown into the mix. Everyone and their brother was going into, digital marketing. And I found that people that I was kind of nurturing, they were buying from specialists. They would hire a branding specialist. They would hire a website designer, a social media manager. And for 18 months, my intuition was nagging at me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just saying, Lori, you need to specialize. You need to specialize. And I resisted it, partly around clarity. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, where am I going to hang, my shutter, whatever, my sign,
Mm-hmm.
me, right? Um, that doubt of like, what am I really that good at?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my copywriter on my team, I'm like, I literally said to her, Drashti, like, what am I really like good at?
Oh, I love that you asked. That's great
Because
to
it
ask
was
other people's
like,
perspectives. Yeah.
um, and she was like, Lori, she says, you are so good at drawing out people's strengths and seeing and being super strategic about how they can use their strengths. And I'm like, wow, really? And all of a sudden it just clicked, offer strategy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I started looking back, like, over like the course of my two businesses. And I started realizing like, oh my God, Lori, you love offers. Like you could just sit and like create offers like all day long. Like you love diving into the nitty gritty of offers. It like super jazzes you, right? And that's how it was born. It was just like, oh my God, I think this is it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I scheduled a little one-on-one call with the only other like offer strategist that I knew of that I was friends with. And I just wanted to pick her brain, like how, like, how's it going? Like, what do you think about this? How's this area going for you? Before I just kind of dove in. Oh my God, I walked away so discouraged. She literally, because I was kind of questioning and, in that moment of like self-doubt, she said, if you can't create your own offers, you can't create them for anyone else.
Oh,
I was like, wow, okay,
yeah.
wow. It hurt. But you know what else it did? It put a fire under me.
Mhm. Good
I
for
was
you. I
like,
love that. I'm
oh
the
yeah,
same way.
okay,
I'm like, oh, well,
okay.
watch me. Yeah. Love
And I
that.
like went full speed into offer strategy. And I'm going to tell you, from the moment that I did that, everything shifted in my business. My messaging shifted, my content shifted, my energy shifted,
Mhm.
my offers became simpler. I became lighter. I was so full of energy and passion. And I want to tell you something. We talk about like manifestation and like when you are in alignment, when you know you're in alignment, like amazing things happen. Literally, I had 4 speaking engagements drop into my lap out of nowhere. People
Amazing.
I
It
have,
is
you
amazing.
being one of them, I have never even heard of these people.
Mhm.
And it just, here,
And we found you
yes.
through the
And I was
ongoing.
just like,
Mhm.
wow, okay, this is the power of alignment. And this is why this work to me is just so important.
Oh,
It's
yes.
that's why I do what I do.
I love that
I've
so much.
seen too much. I've seen too much struggles over the years.
Mhm.
All of the clients that I've worked with, and feeling disconnected from their offers, like they're getting at the end of a launch and being so disappointed because the offer didn't convert, and just all of that stuff. And it's like, no, I want to change that.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing all of that. The piece about specializing and what that did for you, not only, but also just well, let me just give you this. There was a doctor I knew. He was a
Mhm.
doctor. Then he went into the digital version of doctoring a
Okay.
different way. Then he
Okay.
started focus, then he didn't do well with that. And then he started focusing on autoimmune. So now he was the autoimmune doctor, very specific, and still not really thriving in that. And then he decided to become the Hashimoto's autoimmune doctor. And he's making millions. And it
Oh
was
my
just
God.
amazing how
Mhm.
he just went from down this
Yep.
path of, okay, wide net, smaller net, smaller net. And once you specialize in something, it is powerful. What
Yes,
that can
people are
open up.
scared
Yeah.
to do it. I was scared.
Oh,
Like I
yeah,
said,
me too.
18 months
Mm.
it took me to like pull the trigger and say, do it, just do it.
Oh, yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love you. I just love you. Well, speaking of love, you're showing some love to our audience today by offering a free gift. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I have what I call the offer confidence checklist. And this is for anyone who has an offer that they're thinking about launching. They have an offer that's not converting the way they would like. They have an offer that's good, maybe, but they'd like to make it great. Um,
Mhm.
this checklist walks you through 10 very targeted and specific questions that you need to be able to say heck yes to
Mhm.
before you launch your offer. And it's free to you, and you can find it on my website, on my homepage.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I think you mentioned it's
Yes, and it's also right under this interview. So just click that button, go right there, and please take that step. If your offer even is converting at a high level, maybe it can even be better. Like go through that checklist. It's really
Absolutely.
amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that gift. That is very
Yes.
thoughtful of you. And it's a powerful gift. I love that one specifically. And I'm actually going to go sign up for it myself just
Aw,
to learn
thank
more and keep taking
you.
steps forward with you. I really value that. Well, you've given so much to our audience today. Just turning the spotlight on you for just a second. What are you most excited about in business right now? Is there something special you're focusing on, or what are you
I would
excited?
say there's two things. One is all of this virtual speaking.
Mhm.
In my first business, public speaking was the way I grew my business.
Yes.
And I mean, like I mentioned, I'm an introvert, and I like literally like kind of like got away from it. And it's just like, no, I don't want to public speak. I don't want to do that anymore. And like
Mhm.
I got these opportunities, and I'm starting to like see like how lit up
Mhm.
I feel with this. I'm just
Oh,
like,
I love that.
interesting. Okay.
Noted.
I definitely
Yeah.
not gonna, I definitely don't want to do like in-person speaking. I don't think, but virtual, I love virtual speaking. So I'm very excited about the virtual speaking opportunities I have. And then the second thing that I'm really excited about is my own offer,
Yeah.
the Aligned Offer Accelerator, which is a 30-day program that helps walk you through step by step into crafting an aligned and profitable offer. So
Mm.
me, I get very jazzed working with my clients. That's available in a DIY
Okay.
version that comes with an offer power hour. So you still get kind of 60 minutes with me, or it's a done with you version where we literally like I just hold your hand through the whole process.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I
That's
love
so good. How would they find that? Is that on your website? How would they
it.
take
Yep.
a step with you? Okay.
On my homepage, at any way to work with me, whether it's dip your toe in with an offer confidence checklist, the offer power hour, or the aligned offer accelerator. Those are all on my homepage.
That is so beautiful. So right under this video is the link to go get the free offer, and then also takes you to her website. So that would be amazing for people to just take steps with you and get some clarity and start having their businesses work for them. There's so many of entrepreneurs out there. I used to be one of them that was just struggling to make it. And it is what you said earlier at the very beginning of this interview, that a lot of times people think, what's wrong with me? And
Yeah,
sometimes it's just a little tweak. Sometimes it's a bigger tweak. Sometimes it's a little tweak. Sometimes it's shifting something in alignment to suddenly turn the faucet on to your business. And
yes,
all of a sudden the money starts flowing. And then you get to make an impact on people's lives. This is such a
absolutely.
powerful thing.
That's what entrepreneurship is all about,
Yeah, that's
right?
right. It's
I
freedom and
mean,
impact, right? I mean, it
yeah, it's
really
the
is.
biggest self evolution that you will go through.
Yes.
But for
Well
me,
said.
it's it's the ripple effect. It's
Mm,
it's using my gifts to help people lean into their gifts so they can
mhm.
create transformation in their lives, and that affects transformation in our world. And it's
Yeah.
just this full circle
I
moment of
know.
it.
We just all rise together, and that's what
Yeah,
it's all about.
yeah.
This is such a beautiful thing. Lori, I cannot thank you enough. I just love you. I love your heart. I know we just met not that
I love
long,
you
a couple
too.
weeks
Like,
ago, but I
yes,
love you
yes,
already.
yes.
Thank you for pouring into this audience. I really, really value everything you just shared. So thank
Of
you.
course. Thank you. It
And
was my pleasure to be here. And yeah, if there's any way I can serve, I'm here. You know where to find
she's
me.
here. Go meet Lori. Go talk to her and go take some steps with her. Well, everyone watching, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.